You build something from nothing, brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice. Late nights bleeding into early mornings, the taste of cheap coffee permanently etched on your tongue. That company, it wasn't just business. It was my lifeblood. My proof that the kid from nowhere could claw his way to the top. $100 million worth of proof. And then she took it. Not some faceless corporate raider. Not a rival I'd battled in the trenches. No. It was her. My wife's sister. Sarah. The one who sat at our dinner table, laughed at my jokes, bounced my kids on her knee. Family. Or so I thought. The funny thing about betrayal? It doesn't usually come with a bang. It slithers in. On whispers and helpful suggestions. Sarah was always sharp, had a head for numbers. When I needed someone I could trust to handle the complex financial restructuring as we scaled, who better than family? She was brilliant, tireless. Or so it seemed. I welcomed her into the inner sanctum, gave her keys to the kingdom. My mistake wasn't trusting her competence. It was trusting her heart. It started small. A report delayed. A minor discrepancy brushed off with a laugh and a perfectly logical excuse. Just a system glitch, Mark. Don't worry your pretty head. Paper cuts disguised as kindness. But the unease, it settled in my gut like bad sushi. The way she'd deflect questions about certain accounts. The subtle shift in her alliances within the board. The late nights she insisted on working alone, long after everyone else had gone home. The fortress I built felt porous, vulnerable. The day the truth detonated, I remember the unnatural stillness in the boardroom. The air conditioner humming like a trapped insect. My CFO, a man whose loyalty I'd never questioned, looked like he'd seen a ghost. He slid the documents across the polished table. Not spreadsheets. Legal filings. Transfers. Amendments to the company charter. Executed with chilling precision. Sarah hadn't just embezzled. She hadn't just sabotaged. She'd orchestrated. Years of it. Forged signatures. Manipulated voting rights. Exploited clauses I'd naively assumed were mere legal formalities. Piece by piece, while smiling across the Thanksgiving table, while cooing over my newborn son, she'd been meticulously dismantling my control. Transferring shares. Consolidating power in entities she controlled. Entities hidden behind layers of offshore paperwork so thick it would take an army of forensic accountants years to unravel. My name wasn't just off the door. It was erased from the foundation. The company I bled for, the empire built on a decade of my life, legally belonged to her. Sarah. My sister-in-law. The betrayal wasn't just financial. It was a violation that cut bone deep. The trust shattered wasn't just corporate, it was familial. It poisoned every memory, every shared laugh, every holiday photo. The woman my wife loved like a sister had looked me in the eye, smiled, and plunged the knife. Twisted it. The aftermath. It's a special kind of hell. Watching the news reports, the speculation. The pitying glances from former colleagues who don't know whether to offer condolences or avoid eye contact. The crushing weight of knowing everything you built is in the hands of the one person who weaponized your trust. The look in my wife's eyes. Devastation warring with disbelief. Our world, ripped apart by her own blood. But here's the thing about people who've lost everything. We've got nothing left to lose. That fire that built the first company. It's still there. Tempered now. Hardened into something colder. Sharper. She thinks she won. She thinks she's safe behind her stolen millions and her web of lies. She thinks the shark she betrayed is dead. She's wrong. The hunt has just begun. And this time, I know exactly what kind of waters I'm swimming in. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. She stole my company. My legacy. But she unleashed something far more dangerous. She unleashed me.